After a successful egg retrieval, it is time for the embryology lab to come to center stage and fertilize the eggs with sperm.
Up until this point, this has been completely based on humans performing. The first human was the patient, the second human was the doctor. Now we're talking about laboratory science. I actually get to see conception occur. Conception, where egg and sperm meet. Back in the old days, when people did in vitro fertilization or IVF, they used to take one egg and put a drop of sperm around it to allow for natural fertilization to occur. They called it insemination. Nowadays, we typically don't do insemination or natural fertilization because we want to use precision medicine. We want to take the opportunity to pick the best looking sperm possible and put that single sperm inside of a single egg. In fact, the smallest surgery known to man is this process. Single cell inside of another single cell. Now, to do this process, also known as ICSI, or intracytoplasmic sperm injection, ICSI, the most magical thing I get to witness in the laboratory.
After fertilization occurs, the embryologists don't just sit back and relax. There's a lot going on behind the scenes.
What's going to happen over the next 3 to 7 days is that those embryos are going to be carefully nurtured and fed in an environment to mimic the natural human body. And the way we do that is by controlling the oxygen content to make sure that it mimics what's in the human body, the protein content, and to make sure that we're giving the amino acids that they need to go through those first phases. The first phase is called the anaerobic respiration, where the embryo doesn't need to have oxygen present. Second phase, the aerobic respiration, where there's a different number of metabolic steps that has to go through for development. At the end of those 5 to 7 days, you have what's called a blastocyst. By the time we get to day 5, 6, or 7, we have grades. We know how these embryos look. How have they performed? And we have data. So quite often we can tell patients, we retrieved X number of eggs and X number were mature. Of the ones that were mature, this many fertilized. Of the ones that fertilized, this is how they looked on day 3 when they went through that first metabolic process. This is how they look on day 5, 6, and 7.